How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast, and welcome to what I think is going to be probably my favorite video of the whole entire year. I realized earlier that this is the final episode of the regular season. I kind of clickbaited on the wrong video last time out. Uh,
Now no one's gonna believe you.
no, but well, I won't put it. Imagine if I just put the same title as thumbnail. But anyway, like we said on Friday, which was the last episode that we recorded, we are gonna be kind of just churning out a few videos this week too, because everything moves quickly now. The regular season is done, all 82 games have been played, and me and Sully are gonna be just churning out some videos to do with predictions, basically. So if you guys remember back at the start of the season, October time, me and Sully made a video 16 Beyond the Arc episodes ago,
I
um,
know
and there was no face cam, and we
there wasn't.
predicted our conference standings. Now, like, was it about 6, 7 months later? We're back to review them, laugh at them, kind of just mainly just clown us for ourselves for just being a bit stupid, and then ultimately that will add on to the predictions that have been going on throughout the whole season. But before we get into anything like that, Sully, how are we feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to find out just how bad I probably predicted some of these things. I feel like I was good on some of them, so I'm excited to find these things out
Yeah,
and
so you
hopefully
you
win.
didn't you didn't actually write down who actually
No,
um
so I'm blind reacting to this like everyone else.
I'm not. I
He's
watched
fully
rewatched
Sam is aware.
I rewatched the video a few nights ago. Wrote down pretty much because I only wrote down my predictions. So I wrote down your predictions, and I kind of wrote down like a thing, like some like outrageous things that we said throughout the whole thing. So we'll react to all of that. But before we get into that, make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube video. Make sure that you're sharing it out no matter what you're listening on, whether that be YouTube or any other podcast platform. And like I said, keep commenting what you guys want to see in the future. And I think without further ado, I think we should probably address the prediction standings at the moment, like the scores at the moment. So Sully made a good start, ran away with it a little bit. I pulled it back, and coincidentally enough, not we this isn't scripted. We are level at 7 apiece
Well, what would you know?
going into today, and well, this is the biggest prediction. This could like sway it for the whole thing. Obviously, we're going to be predicting like playoff games, playing games, stuff like that. We're predicting the play-in later today, playoffs when the whole playoffs get announced. Um, but the whole deal is this could actually like switch it up because the way that this predictions video is going to go is every single time you predict we predicted a team to finish in a specific position. If you get the position correct, like no like closeness, if you get it correct bang on, you get automatically 1 point no matter what the rest of the scoring says. And then the rest of them, it's a bit of a complicated thing, but what happens is for the amount of guesses away from, so say you predicted something 11th and they finished 8th, the amount of guesses away from your prediction to where they actually finished equals like one, equals like it just adds up.
Like
So
yeah, so if that'd be like 4 points and
no, 3 3 points. So
three,
if
yeah,
someone finished, if say I predicted a team to finish 11th, they finished 8th, that is 10 9 8. So it's 3 points.
yeah.
That will all get added up and totaled up, and the for both conferences, both all of our predictions for both conferences, that'll get totaled up, and then at the end, the person with the lowest score wins. So if you get the lowest score, that means that you have predicted like the kind of the best, like closest to where they
Hmm.
actually finished, if not bang on. So that obviously, so obviously, if you predict something bang on, you get 1 point, and then at the end, the person with the lowest points, when it's all being calculated up, also gets 1 point.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
I hope that makes sense to you guys watching or listening at home. If it doesn't, leave a comment. In hindsight, it won't really matter, but for next season, we might change it up. We might change up how we do it, but that is how I feel is the kind of fairest and best way to do it, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So I think we should just get straight onto it. This might we we might take a while doing this. It might be a short video. Who knows? But
Hmm.
let's just
You know.
let's just dive straight in. I think with who we predicted to finish in the East. So in the East, we'll go from bottom to top. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you went off of you started off with a bit of a, maybe at the time not a hot take, but after the season's paneled out, it's been a bit of a tough one.
A bit of a
You
stinker.
you predicted Cleveland to finish
Oh
15th.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's not a great start then, is it? That's
You
really
pre-
not.
you predicted Cleveland to finish 15th and said that you weren't going to watch a game of theirs this season because they'd be so dry.
Oh, okay, so he's got the quotes out and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you see that that um I'm gonna have to hold my hands up on that one. That was quite stinky. Um, to the people of Cleveland, I apologize. That was
Obviously, nobody knew that Darius Garland was going to have a all-star level season.
yeah.
It at the start of the season, it did look like a decent pick. We'll see later on where I put Cleveland, and it's not as far away from you. But but on the other side, I started. Should we go like 15-15, or should we just do you first and then me second?
Why don't you do like the bottom? So we'll do like the bottom five
Okay,
each.
so yeah, so
Yeah.
but should we go 15-15 or 15 to 10 for
Yeah,
you?
you can if you want.
Okay, so I put Orlando 15th, and it's a good start for me because
It's a
guess
great start for you actually. It's
look
a
look look
perfect
who
start.
look who finished 15th, the Orlando Magic.
It's a perfect start.
I did say that Jalen Suggs would be a good pickup in the draft for them. I kind of got the wrong rookie. Franz
Hmm.
Wagner is top 5 in rookie of the year voting at the moment. Jalen Suggs had a bit of a dead year.
Yeah.
So I got that wrong, but I did get where Orlando should finish correctly. And moving up, we both predicted Detroit to finish 14th, which is
Oh,
good.
that's what we like to see.
Yeah.
That's what we
So
like.
so both of us got Detroit spot on. We thought that it was going to be kind of, you predicted like the exact same three
Yeah.
in where they finished the season before. So yeah, we predicted that Detroit would have a pretty samey season. Do we reckon that might change next year? Just a little bit of a prediction at the start
Mm,
of the season.
I can't say it will at the moment, but who knows what happens in the off season?
Yeah, I guess so. 13 for me is where I put Cleveland.
Okay, so you weren't far away to be fair. I thought you put them a bit higher to be honest.
No, I put Cleveland 13th.
Oh,
I
damn,
I did say that they were in a decent part of the rebuild, but I didn't think that it would
it was
come
that
true.
far in.
Yeah, come true right now. And then in 13th, you put Orlando. So the bottom three, we kind of we did do the same. Just Orlando and Detroit,
Yeah,
Orlando and Cleveland got flipped around a little bit.
yeah, which is fair.
In 12th is your second point. So I've already got two at the moment. You've got one.
Okay.
In 12th, you get your second point because you predicted Washington to go
Oh,
to
yeah.
finish 12th.
And that's spot on.
You
Oh,
said
that's
that
what we like.
you said that Russ losing Russ would be a massive loss for them. I mean, in the end, Russ hasn't had the greatest season, but you know,
It was a massive loss for them because he worked well for them, but at the same time, considering the way it panned out, they definitely won the trade in the long
Mhm,
run. I feel.
mhm. And then my stinker came at the number 12 position. Another stinker came for me at the 12th position because I put Toronto there.
Ooh.
I underestimated the power of the Toronto Raptors fans because obviously last year they were in Tampa, weren't they?
Hmm.
Um, and I also said that Siakam wouldn't have a good season. Siakam did end up having a good year, but I think mainly I underestimated the fact that having that Toronto fan base for half of your
Yeah,
games is such a big boost
it's
compared to just
crazy.
playing
It's
in Tampa.
crazy.
So maybe I underestimated that. They proved me wrong. They finished fifth. So that's a 7 for
That's
me.
that's crazy. That one.
And you predicted Toronto to finish 11th. So
Oh, okay. So it
you weren't
wasn't that. Yeah.
you weren't too far off for me. You said they'd have a very similar season to Washington and they'd be pretty much interchangeable towards the end of the year. Pretty incorrect, but
That's ridiculous. That's,
in 11th. So you put Toronto in 11th. In 10th,
Mhm.
you put Indiana.
Oh, that wasn't too far off, to be fair.
And obviously, this was at the start of the season before they started to commit to a tank. Um,
I feel like if they didn't make the trades that they were gonna make and stuff, I feel like they probably might have stayed, maybe finished 10th.
Maybe, but in the end, they've got themselves Tyrese Halliburton, who's probably one of the best up and coming point guards, and they got Buddy Hield for pretty much nothing as well from
Yeah.
Sacramento. So I guess they are getting up to that little hype. I put Indiana 11th.
Oh, that's not bad as well. That's quite good actually. It's not going too bad to be honest, except from the 1-2 stinkers we
No,
both had.
yeah, it's not going too bad. And then to finish off this little mini segment, number 10, I put Charlotte. I said it'd be a hot take at the time, but Charlotte ended up
Oh,
actually finishing 10th. So
okay.
we're not going to talk about where you put Charlotte yet because we got to wait a little bit for that. But so at the moment, that's what we'll do. We'll do it in like fives, I
Yeah.
think, and we'll see where we're at each point. So at the moment, I got a 5 for Cleveland, which ain't great, but I got zeros for Detroit, Orlando, and Charlotte. So at the moment, I've got 3 points,
That's not bad.
but my Toronto and Cleveland ones are poor. Like a 5 and a 7, that's not great, and
Yeah.
then Indiana is a 2. So at the moment, I'm on 14 points.
Okay.
Over in your section, so you obviously got 2 points, Washington and Detroit.
Hmm.
You got obviously and Cleveland and Toronto done us in
Yeah.
there. You got a 7 and a 6 on that one,
Ooh.
plus a 3 for Indiana and a 2 for Orlando. So at the moment, if my maths is correct, that is 18 points for you.
So I'm currently losing.
So
Oh,
yeah,
son of a-
and I've got an extra point. How we feel? How are we
Okay.
feeling so far? Do we think that your predictions of
Um, I feel like not all of them are panning out the way I thought. Some of them were decent. I feel like it can only get worse from here, though. Um,
Yeah, so at the moment I'm 4 points ahead. We will move up to from 9 to 5 at the moment.
okay,
In ninth, I put Washington,
okay, that's
and I I said that they would do well because they had Dinwiddie and Montrezl Harrell, um, both of whom aren't with the Washington Wizards anymore. They got traded. I also said that Kyle Kuzma was done, which wasn't a hot take at the time. Let's be honest. I think
yeah. At the time, it wasn't, but he
everyone was
proved
saying that
like
Kyle
to
Kuzma was
actually
a
be
bit dead.
amazing.
Yeah, I think everyone
Mm,
said that Kyle Kuzma was a bit dead.
yeah, especially after seeing someone like the preseason games.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I remember we talked a lot about
mm,
Kyle Kuzma in preseason there.
it was peak for him.
In
But
ninth, in ninth for you, and I took this as a massive hot take. I wasn't having any of this at all. You put the Atlanta Hawks.
I'm a visionary. This is all what I say. This is what I do. I just knew it. Um, I mean that one. To be honest, they could have been a few places lower or higher if they didn't clutch up the way they clutched up towards the end of the season. But I mean, it's nice that we like to get that one right. You know,
Yeah,
considering I
especially
know
given
some
that a lot of people
stinkers are
weren't.
coming up, and not many people would have seen that. To be fair, like I said, like you said, like when I predicted them ninth, I think you were like, "No, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's exactly what I was like. I said
mm,
I said I don't know what I'd do if they finished ninth, and well, they finished ninth. So
so what are you gonna do?
who knows? Who knows? But that's your third point.
Mm,
Eighth for me, I picked New York.
Oh, that's not actually that far to be fair.
No, and I said because you said that the only reason Atlanta did well last season was
Mm,
because of teams not doing as well. I said the exact same for New York, which is why they'd slump a little bit
mm.
too. In the end, they slumped a lot further than what they
Oh
did last
yeah,
season. I did say that I liked the Kemba Walker edition. I don't think that worked out well for them.
yeah. It was very pointless to be honest. Like
Yeah,
it, it's just proved that he's just gonna turn into like a trade player. Like people,
yeah,
he's gonna probably get traded somewhere else for like
yeah.
I don't know, draft picks or something. And I feel like that's the kind of like the potential he had was really crazy. But I mean, the fall off has been mental.
In eighth position, you put Boston,
Oh,
which I
oh,
mean,
oh.
midway through the season,
It was looking like a good prediction.
but they banged it at the end.
Clutched up. Jason Tatum must have watched our prediction video and said, "You know what? I'm not having that."
Just a few months later.
Yeah, I mean, like he just caught it. Like someone sent it to him, like, "Yo, have you seen this? This is what these are. Think of the Boston Celtics." And he's like, "Oh, what? Okay, cool. We're gonna finish second."
Yeah, so well, I put Boston as seventh. So we both kind of had similar ones, and you ended up putting New York seventh. So we kind of had
Mm,
them two, but like switched over.
that wasn't great. To
I,
be
s-
honest,
I-
you know what? Yeah, they
yeah,
weren't actually doing that bad. I remember there was a point they were in like the top six and stuff, but they kind of did flop. I'm really disappointed in
yeah.
my guy.
Just, I mean, it was nice having New York in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought they were gonna make it again, but you know, these things are meant to be this year. Next year, we're coming.
In the top six, so in the actual playoff positions, you called yourself a visionary there with Atlanta. But in number six, I put the Chicago Bulls.
Oh wow,
Am
yeah.
I am I a reader of the future, or am I a reader of the future? I did also say that Kobe White could win Sixth Man of the Year, which never. No, it's not
Hmm.
gonna happen.
Nah, but I mean that one there. That's you know that's a brilliant take from you in
Hmm.
terms of putting them sixth. Like they, I think sixth perfectly sums up the Chicago season the way they are because pretty much give or take one or two teams they are better than by a mile, but the teams above them, you just don't see them being better than. So I think that position for them is probably like perfect.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, and we'll talk obviously about the playoffs later on in the week,
Mm.
but I'm not looking forward to playing Milwaukee in the first round. It's not something I'm looking forward to. In sixth place, you put Miami.
Oh,
You
damn.
said that you said that Tyler Hero would have a bit of a down year as well, like last year, and well, he's kind of
He,
proved you wrong.
he,
He
uh,
he must have seen you.
he defo saw it as well. He defo watched it. And he sent it to the whole team group chat, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna show this guy." Oh, damn, that wasn't great.
And then, well, rounding off this little section with number five. Um, let's be honest. Both of us had a bit of a stinker. I put Atlanta there. I thought Atlanta would finish in the same position
And I
in
put
as the season
Charlotte or
before,
something.
and then you put Charlotte.
Uh, they were in
What?
the top six for like some time, so I was close-ish. I mean, they're
What
still in the play-in,
did
so
you?
we'll.
I was gonna say when you actually made that prediction, did you actually think that they were gonna finish fifth?
They weren't doing too bad, man. They were good, man. Like, you know, obviously we were sleeping on some people, and I was a bit awake on too much on some other people. Um, I I I don't know. I believed.
So this little mini section for you resulted in you getting six for Boston, four for New York, five for Miami, and five for Charlotte. So
Ooh.
you got 20 in this little section,
Oh damn! I just doubled up on the last points. That's not great.
and myself, I got a four for Atlanta, a zero for Chicago, a five for Boston, a three for New York, and a three for Washington, which means I at the moment in this. For that little section, I got 15.
Oh,
So I'm definitely running away with it at the moment for the East.
yeah.
And well, at the moment, I think we got pretty much almost identical top four for the East.
I think bar one team.
Yeah. So in fourth, we both put Philly.
Oh, that's nice.
Um, this was obviously with Ben Simmons still. In the
Yeah. So we must have believed too hard. Um,
so obviously too bad, but obviously we both got that right. In third, you put Chicago, I put Miami, so we kind of had that switched a
yeah.
little bit. Um, I called Miami the best all-around team. That statement could still stand.
It does stand if we're being technical. If we're being technical, it does stand. And to be honest, you know what? I mean, I put Chicago there. They were near the top for quite some time as well,
Hmm.
and I think I wasn't. I wasn't, a horrific one like my others. I'm actually quite okay with that, considering like they were only a few games away from third, really. So
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'm happy with that one.
yeah. And then in second and first, we both put Brooklyn second and Milwaukee first. So this was
So
Brooklyn. This was Brooklyn with the big three. I actually said that if Kyrie didn't come back, it'd be good for them.
I
In the
guess
in the end, Kyrie coming back. I mean, he dropped a big game last night.
yeah, I saw
To
last
close the
night.
season. James Harden no longer there. He's at Philly now. Well, I
Uh,
mean, boy,
if
what a weird season for Brooklyn.
Very, very strange. I don't think anyone would have predicted them to be in the play-ins, to be honest.
Yeah.
And but I think in terms of Kyrie coming back, I think that needed to happen, and it does make like a 7 game series now a lot more dangerous
Hmm.
um for anyone,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you Kyrie for 7 games. It's not fun.
No,
We've seen it happen,
no.
and I guess now there is a lot more like fear within Brooklyn. Like how we were saying, some episodes ago, oh, if you get Brooklyn at the home advantage, you might think, oh, that's not great because away games. But now it doesn't matter. So I think them finishing seventh, I don't really think it is going to dent anything in their playoff like future. But their season was crazy. Like even the fact like they had KD for majority of the season, yet they're still
Yeah,
in the
and
play, which is
they
crazy.
were top at the new year.
Yeah, so that the fall off has been mad.
Yeah. And then obviously number one we said Milwaukee. I said that Giannis will be MVP. That could still happen.
It
Obviously, it
could.
hasn't been
It's
decided yet.
not far off. Yeah,
No. And we both said that Milwaukee wouldn't win the chip this year.
wouldn't.
Is that an idea that has changed now? Are we saying that Milwaukee could be front runners? Could we have seen another Milwaukee Phoenix final?
That's not ridiculous. But I feel like this season or this like post season playoff era is gonna kind of almost be identical to last year. I think the only difference is like Golden State are probably gonna be a lot better.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? It might be a repeat of last year. Because if we're being honest, they are the two strongest all-rounded teams probably in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
definitely.
it's a very slept on, like two teams as well. Like if we talk,
Uh-huh.
like everyone talks dynasties and all that, you wouldn't call Milwaukee or Phoenix a dynasty, but you'd put them in like the strongest teams that we've seen for a long time that doesn't have superstars. Because if you talk about strongest teams in the last 5 6 years, they're all superstar teams aside from LeBron and Cleveland, and
Mhm.
you could put these two teams up there with that because they're not teams stacked with like big names, but they're teams that work harder than all the other
I'm
teams,
going to say
and
they've cultivated big names
yeah,
across the. They haven't
because
gone out of
of
their way to
yeah,
buy players
hundred
or
percent,
sign players like that. Yeah.
100%, and like the conversation, especially if them two both make the finals again. You have to put them in the conversation of like the LeBron Cleveland type teams or the Toronto Raptors. They weren't like a big superstar team. That was a team full of good players that made themselves into big players. Like you have to put them in that conversation because that's what they've done. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if we saw Milwaukee Phoenix again.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So to end the Eastern Conference section of this prediction reaction, I have ended with 5 points and a 38 gap. I've done very well on this Eastern Conference. You not so much. You've got 4 points, so you predicted four correct, but you're on 48.
Ooh,
So
so
I've
it's
got a
like
point
10.
extra. I've got a point extra already, and I'm 10 ahead.
That's
Surely
that's, that's
there
crazy.
is there is no way that I can throw this away in the Western Conference standings at all,
That
right?
doesn't sound very convincing. That doesn't
let's
sound very convincing.
well let's just find out. Let's go 15-10 in the West. So
Oh, damn. This is gonna be crazy.
for 15 for you. Well, why do we do this different? We'll see how we feel. We'll go 15-10 for you, and then 15-10 for me.
Okay.
So 15 for you. You predicted Houston.
Get in. That's what we like.
The comeback is on. You said they'd be
It's
flat
on.
all season,
Exactly that. That's what I do. I mean, to be
and
honest, they have been. Like, there's literally no.
and then well, I mean, I totally disagree with that. But then you said that Oklahoma City will finish 14th.
Oh my days. Would you look at that? And oh, wow.
This is uncharted territory. It's going amazingly, and then 13th you put Minnesota.
Ooh. Eee.
To be fair though, I think I put them similar, so I don't think anyone was expecting Minnesota to
To,
have as good of a season as they did.
yeah.
Anthony Edwards is the
I don't
next
think
big thing, in
anyone
my
thought
opinion.
Minnesota was going to finish higher than the Lakers. So,
Well, we didn't think
is.
that anybody would finish higher than the Lakers at
Yeah,
that point.
well, yeah.
And then 12th, you put San Antonio. So you got a
Oh,
bit of a
that's not
bit,
too far,
bit
to
of
be
a
honest.
bit of a close one. Yeah, a bit of a close one. You said that Sacramento would finish 11th,
Oh, that was nice and close, that one.
and then you said that New Orleans would finish 10th.
Oh, that was close as well. I'm happy with that bottom 10. I'm quite aside from one team that I can see in
Yeah,
this bottom 10
yeah,
that we didn't think was going to be there.
yeah.
Aside from them, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really say anything like scandalous whilst talking about this too. Like most of the stuff that you said was correct. Um, myself, pretty different. So obviously at the moment you've got 2 points off of that, and with some like close predictions other than Minnesota, you have
Hmm.
only got 10 points
That's not too bad.
out of that first section. Myself,
That's
however, I said that OKC would finish 15th. I
okay.
said
That's still not far.
I
That's
said that they
still
didn't
some.
get I said that they didn't get a good draft pick, but Josh Giddey has actually been pretty good for them.
Yeah,
He's Mr. Triple Double youth version.
youth
Um,
version,
you never know.
junior edition.
He might have a very good season next year. Obviously, it's OKC. They're probably gonna have a decent draft pick. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, you never know. And then in 14th, I had a bit of a stinker. I said that New Orleans would finish 14th.
well, that's not great.
I did say it was a hot take at the start, and obviously this was before CJ McCollum was
Yeah,
traded to them. I did also predict that Zion wouldn't play any games this season, which
yeah,
is why I said
that's
they finished
exactly what's
14th.
happened.
And obviously he hasn't played any games. There's talk that he might actually be coming back for the play-in.
That would be crazy. That would be very crazy.
Who knows? Who knows? In 13th, I also put Minnesota. Um,
Oh,
in 12th, I also put San Antonio.
oh.
And then in 11th, that was where I put Houston. And
Okay.
do you want to hear something funny? The one of the main reasons why I said that Houston would finish 11th is because they've still got John Wall.
Oh well.
I mean, next season they'll probably still have John Wall. Apparently, he's exercising his player option to sit on the bench and earn 40 million. I mean, get that back. I can't lie, but
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you're gonna sit on the bench, bro, you might as well.
let's be
Courtside.
honest. Let's be honest. Jalen Green, obviously, like ever since like it became a formality that they were going to finish bottom, Jalen Green has been balling.
He actually has been, and that's probably their only good asset right now. Like as like a someone that's playing for them. Jalen Green is a good player, and he's probably I don't think he'll probably be in top three like of the rookies from this year. Like it's just a shame that he's in a dead dub team. Like
Yeah, and I mean he had a pretty poor start to the season too.
yeah,
You know, and
it
I
wasn't
feel like
great.
that's kind of brought him down. But yeah, he's. I think I saw something saying that only Michael Jordan and LeBron James have had as many 40-point games as a rookie as he has.
Damn,
So you know
damn.
he's up there. He's up there with good company.
Yeah,
He's a scorer, and you never know. Houston might finish 11th next season, but I don't know.
I mean, hearing things like that only makes you think good things about the guy.
I might not make that risk again. We'll see. And then in 10th, I put Sacramento. So I thought Sacramento
Not
might
too bad.
get in the play-in.
They only
Unfortunately,
just missed out.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, they finished 12th, so I only got a 2 on that. But everything else below that, I have at the moment got. So you got 10. I have 20.
Damn.
So all of a sudden, you have erased that 10-point deficit and gotten 2 extra points.
That's what
So
we like. That's what we
I'm in a
like.
bit of a poor position at the moment.
Just like that.
Let's see if I can bring this back 9 through 5. So I'll go through my predictions here.
Yeah.
I predicted Portland to finish ninth.
Okay.
Um,
That's quite far.
we obviously again this was with Dame still on the team before we
Yeah.
thought. But obviously we thought that he'd actually care this season.
Hmm.
Obviously he did get injured, which meant that they kind of obviously slipped down, kind of accepted the tank.
Hmm.
Um, finished 13th in the end. You know, they might get a
Not
good
great.
trade. They might get a good draft pick. You know, I might convince Dame to stay.
Potentially.
We were having that that conversation, saying is Dame gonna be leaving? Do we think he might actually leave in the off season this year?
I think he has to. I think it's literally the only way to revive his career. Because
Um,
there's no revival happening at Poland.
no, definitely. And but the thing is though, again, he's kind of like just gone under the radar as someone who, you know, is being questioned as to whether he can actually go back and be
Can
the
he
same
yeah, can he
Dame
still
that
do
he
it?
was before.
And I
Yeah,
think he can. I think he can still do it. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, when you talk about that, like for example, Clay was out for 2 years. Yeah, it took him a minute, but now he's back. He
yeah, he
dropped
is. To be
40
fair,
points
yeah,
last night, I think.
he did. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah,
Like, so it obviously just shows class is permanent. And with these ballers, they know what they're doing, especially at the caliber of like, Dame and Clay and all these guys. So I think he can do it. It's just about doing it in the right place. And I don't think Poland is the right place.
fair enough. Fair enough. I then put Memphis 8th, but I don't think anyone was expecting Memphis to have such a good season that they did.
Damn, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's a pretty poor one for me, but it gets a little bit better. I put the Clippers 7th, so that's only a one
Oh,
gap.
that's nice.
Um, Obviously Kawhi didn't play throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
I thought this would be a good PG-13 year. He ended up getting injured for a significant amount of the season too.
Mm.
Do we think that Kawhi's going to come back for the playoffs?
I hope so. I really do hope so. I would love to see that happen. Like, I think that that would be crazy, considering the fact that that Clippers team is good, even without him. I can only imagine that he would just bring so much more and maybe make them a dangerous team.
Yeah, I was going to say like since PG-13's come back, it's they've become significantly better to the point where I think they could cause Memphis a bit of a problem in the first round if they do secure that 7th seed against Minnesota later
Yeah,
this
and
week.
that's like not like hot take. I I think the Clippers are very like slept on at the moment, and Memphis they were great in the regular season, but it should like we've seen plenty of times in the past. Regular season doesn't really matter once you enter the playoffs. Like once you're in the playoffs, your regular season record and how good you were then, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
because
it's completely different. Playoff basketball.
it's a different type of basketball. You
Yeah.
see players turn into different versions of themselves that you've never seen before,
Hmm.
and teams fold like they've never folded before. So Memphis being second and shocking everyone and being really this like young amazing core, that's not really going to benefit them in the playoffs. It probably be their downfall.
You never know. Yeah. I mean, we'll look at that later.
Mm.
Um, and then in sixth, I put Dallas.
That's
I said Luca would come second in MVP voting this year. That's obviously not going to happen, but he's still looking to be a top five.
yeah, and
And Dallas have had a way better season than I think anyone was expecting.
yeah, I mean sixth wasn't a bad guess for them. But
You know,
they
they've come fourth now, aren't they?
yeah, so they I mean big ups to them, man. Like Luca literally showed he could do it pretty much on his own.
Yeah, I mean, well, and they got rid of KP. I'm pretty sure this is something that you said. They got rid of KP, Porzingis, and they've
Mm.
kind of just built around some like decent players. You know, they've brought
Yeah,
in
like
Dinwiddie, Bertans.
yeah,
Um, is this obviously apparently since Luca got drafted, the Mavs. Well, apparently since they won the title in 2011, the Mavs haven't won a playoff series. Is
really.
something that I read, which actually shocked me to be fair, given how good Luca's been.
That's crazy, but I
This
feel
year's
like
got to be
that's
the year that they
gonna
do.
change. That's
Yeah,
gonna change. Has to change.
especially Utah first round. I think
You see him.
Utah.
You see him seeing that out. Yeah.
Yeah, Utah haven't had the best track record in the playoffs, so yeah, you never know.
Mm,
Through that four gap, I got 13 points, which isn't great to be fair. For a
mm.
for a 4 points stint. You know, Memphis and Portland kind of did me in. Over on your side, it's kind of similar. You put Memphis ninth.
Oh damn.
You said that just having Jar won't be enough for him this season, and they won't even get the playoffs. They'd just drop out in the play-in matches. They've pretty much had an almost flawless record without Jar, and Jar has missed significant parts of this season.
Well, that that stinks. I can't lie. Clearly they proved me all the way wrong. And rightly so. I mean, like they just showed. To be honest, they don't even. I wouldn't say they don't need him, but they showed that they can do it without him. He
Yeah,
just
I mean,
enhances
players
the
have
team.
stepped up. You know,
Yeah,
there's not.
massively.
I'd say there's about two-ish players on that team that could win Most Improved.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree.
In eighth, you put Portland. Obviously,
Ooh.
this is obviously under the impression that Portland are Portland. You
Yeah,
know, Dame is Dame.
yeah.
They do have like a winning mentality in there at the moment, but obviously Dame got injured. You thought he'd go to the Bucks in the off season.
I mean, I wanted that to happen. I felt like that just would have been. If that happened, I think in my nothing could have changed the fact that they would have gone back to back if he was to go. But I mean, I can still see him going there. I can see him going to LA and fix LA. I can see him maybe going to Memphis, and getting some experience in there as well. Who knows?
You never know. You never know. And then in seventh and sixth is exactly the same as me. You put LA seventh and Dallas sixth.
Ah,
We had very similar picks in the West. You know, it wasn't like the East where we had
yeah,
Atlanta
where
5 positions different. We had
yeah,
Charlotte 5 positions different from each other. We did have a pretty similar Western Conference prediction. Although putting that Memphis and Portland
as low as
switching
I
them
did.
round, it means that you got 15 points out of that compared to
Ooh,
my 13. So going into this final
that's great.
stretch, I am 2 points ahead. It's
Ooh,
very
it's
close.
nice. It's nice and close.
You have that extra point for
Mm,
predictions at the moment. Like I've got 5 points, you've got six.
mm,
Um, and obviously I have the point for winning overall at the moment.
yeah.
going into the top five. Should we start with you or should we start with me?
I'll go. I don't mind starting.
Okay, so we'll start. We'll start with you. You put Phoenix fifth.
That's not a great start. That's not a great start for me. Um, yeah,
You said
I
you
damn.
said that you didn't reckon that they would get another chance at the title again, but you thought that fifth was a decent position for them, which isn't, that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I really did not think they were going to be able to show the class that they showed in the previous season again, which was completely wrong considering they got the best record out of everyone in the NBA. I mean, yeah, that was damn.
And it so in fourth you put Utah, which is
No,
pretty close, pretty
that
close.
was close. I'll take that. I like it.
You didn't really say much about that. I think everyone knows what Utah is all about now.
Yeah.
They're going to perform in the regular season, but when it comes to the
Mm,
playoffs, it might be a bit dead for them.
yeah.
In third, so listening back, we ended up having the same top three, but you changed your mind. So in third,
I remember changing one.
you put Denver third. You were going to put Denver second and Golden State third. You instead put Denver third and Golden State second.
Oh, damn. Why did I do that?
So in turn, Golden State ended up finishing third. So you missed out on that point there by changing it at the last minute.
Damn.
So oh no, we would have had the top two because I didn't put Golden State third. But in the end, you changed your mind. You put Denver third, and you put Golden State second. You said that Wiggins wasn't a good basketball player.
Oh, and then he went and
Got in
went
the All Star starter.
All-Star game.
I mean, to be fair, did he deserve to be an All Star? No, he didn't. So
Who knows? These people were visionaries. He might be the next LeBron. We
I
don't know.
don't, don't know about that one, if I'm honest with you. So obviously you end up just getting a one there instead of the actual point,
Damn.
and then obviously number one, you've put the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm not gonna clown you for this because I did exactly the same thing. Who was
It's
expecting this to happen?
it's literally the biggest like what if probably ever.
Yeah.
Like everyone saw that starting four of Melo and AD and Russ and LeBron and everyone just thought, okay, so this is the Brooklyn Nets of the West.
Mm-hmm.
And
In the end, Brooklyn's in the play-in, and
LA are not.
LA aren't even in the play-in.
I mean, it's crazy that they only missed it by one game as well. When you look at it, like
Personally, I like it. In my opinion,
really,
yeah. I mean, I'm always one for an underdog kind of story. So
yeah,
to have Brooklyn and LA, who are the odds-on favorites, not even have both of them not even have like a confirmed playoff spot. I mean, Brooklyn are definitely gonna get it,
yeah.
but LA don't even have that chance.
It's just crazy. It's crazy, but I mean that it does kind of like it shocks me really
Mm-hmm.
because nobody saw it coming. Like, but I mean, this is basketball. This is sport.
Mm-hmm.
These things happen. These things shock you, and this is one of those. It will forever be a shock every time we
Mm-hmm.
look back at this season and that team. And who knows what they're going to do next. I'm excited to see what they do next because they need to do something.
Yeah.
Whether they get rid of Russ, probably Melo, you know, get some
Well, you
maybe
on a little
younger
bit
guys.
because I mean, do you see Austin Reeves last night?
I did. Austin Reeves is not a bad basketball player. I actually quite like him. I think he's great.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna like maybe start to build around this young core that they need because let's be honest, LeBron isn't getting any younger. You
I
know.
still think keeping LeBron around to help develop
Oh
someone like
yeah,
Austin Reeves is
definitely.
very good. I
And like
mean,
obviously they've still got AD who isn't like old,
yeah.
and I guess having him around, he could be like the next LeBron for these guys in terms of the looking for guidance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When once LeBron eventually leaves, or if he stays and retires at LA,
Mm-hmm.
with Bronny, who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? So that little section got you 19 points,
He,
which gives you 44 for the West.
that ain't great.
It's well, I mean, you say that is almost you got 48 for the East.
So I'm averaging like 43.
So overall, you got 92.
Ooh.
At the moment, I am on I think 71.
Okay.
If my calculations are correct, I'm pretty sure I'm on 71. Like what I've done, I did the whole like all of them added together, but
Yeah.
obviously I didn't do the 5 thing each time. So if my calculations are correct, I'm on 71. So that
Okay.
means I need 20 to beat you.
Okay.
Let's see how I did. So I, like you, put Phoenix fifth.
Oh, that's not great
Um,
from you. So it's not a great start. It's not a great start.
equally said that they just wouldn't be as good as other teams, but obviously they've shown that they are the best team in the
The
NBA at the
best.
moment. Yeah. In fourth was where I put Golden State.
Oh, that's not great.
So yeah, and so I obviously said what you said. You know, Clay coming back, it could be a finals caliber team. But obviously, it's still exactly the same as what you got. So you got one for Golden State, I got one for Golden State.
Yeah.
You got four for Phoenix, I got four for Phoenix. Utah, I put third. Um,
Oh.
so this is when I've got a little bit behind you at the moment. Because obviously you put Utah fourth.
Hmm.
I put Denver second, which is a bit of a shame. I think I overestimated Denver.
Yeah.
I said that obviously one of the main reasons why they would come second is because they'd have Jamal Murray back. Jamal Murray
Hmm.
hasn't played all season,
Yeah.
which really does suck because he was having such a good year.
Yeah.
In obviously in the bubble playoffs was the last time he played, right?
Yeah. It will have been because it wasn't last year.
Mm. Oh no, it'll have been sometime last year. I don't think it's been out to a year, but like it'll have been sometime last season during the regular season. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean he was having a great season then, and obviously damn injuries, ruin
Hmm. It
everything.
is a shame to be honest.
Yeah. Um, and then obviously I put the Lakers top like you. Essentially, just exactly the same reasoning as you did. And
Yeah.
obviously we've had this conversation about LA,
Yeah.
which means that I needed 20 to beat you. I got 10 for LA, 4 for
Hmm.
Denver, so that's 14. I got 2 for Utah, that's 16. I got 1 for Golden State, which is 17. And then I got 4 for Phoenix, which is
I'm good.
21. So not only have I choked the 10-point gap
Oh
there,
my god.
we have also tied.
Damn.
This isn't scripted. This isn't
This is
scripted.
crazy to me. This is actually crazy to like damn.
So what's gonna happen? We're just both gonna get a point for that. But the fact is, you got 6 points for guessing correct positions. I only
Yeah.
got 5. So at the
Okay.
moment, you are 14-13 up.
Okay.
So you are
Um
winning still. You have retaken the lead. Obviously, we're gonna head into the playing predictions now. Um,
yeah.
and we'll see if you can extend the lead ahead of the playoffs. For when we record again on
I
Saturday.
might have to go 4 for 4 on this one.
You never know. You never know. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna predict our each playing game like we would do a regular game. Obviously, excluding last week. We're gonna predict who we think's gonna win and who we think's gonna get player of the game. Then what's gonna happen? Because obviously we won't know what game it'll be to determine the eighth seed between the loser of 7 and 8 and the winner of 9 and 10. We're just gonna
Hmm.
predict who we think is gonna get eighth.
Okay.
So first up, Cavs at Nets. So the Cavs ended up blowing out the somewhat Milwaukee Bucks
Yeah.
last night. Drew, they didn't have Middleton, Lopez,
Yeah.
Giannis, and Drew Holiday played 8 seconds to get his 360k bonus for playing in 62 games and averaging 3.1 rebounds or something like that. First of all, that is the weirdest season bonus I think I've like ever seen.
I mean, it worked.
But you know, he obviously needed to play in the game. Tip off happened. He immediately fouled, checked out inside 8 seconds, and then just sat on the bench for the rest of the game. Get the bag, man. Get the bag.
I mean, the
I
people
respect
who are
it.
paying him won't be happy to see that, but you
No,
know,
I respect it. I respect it. But that means that the Cavs ended up finishing eighth, and will face the Nets in the first playing game. Is this even a discussion?
no.
It's gonna be Brooklyn, isn't it?
But I mean, what if? Because it's only one game.
It is only one game, but let's be honest, Brooklyn are on a great run at the moment. It's at the Barclays Center. I think everything at the moment points to a Brooklyn win. You know, don't like the fact that a almost full strength Cavs team beat the third Milwaukee team. Don't I'm not letting that fool me. I think
No,
it's
I'm not letting that fool me. But the thing is, and this is the main thing that gets me. Brooklyn is a two-man team. Like we've
Mhm.
seen many times. Like KD will drop 40 and Kyrie will drop 35, and the rest of them will drop 6 points. And that's not like that has happened on multiple occasions.
Mhm.
Like I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're a great team. And when I say a great team, them two are great players. But like this is a good five-man team against a really good two-man team. Like,
Okay, that's understandable, but I still think it's going to be a Nets win. I
I
think the
mean,
Nets are
I
going to
I,
secure
I
the
wouldn't.
second
I,
seed.
I think that will probably happen too, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland went and did it. That's my
Okay,
only thing.
fair enough, fair enough. Who do you think is going to be
But I think
that
Brooklyn
player?
will probably win. But
Yeah.
if the opposite happens, I genuinely won't be shocked.
Okay, so who are you putting as player of the game for that?
I'll go Kyrie Irving.
Okay, I put KD before we started, so
Yeah,
no disputes there, no
mm,
same
yeah.
choices there. Hornets at the Hawks. Now this is a, I you're a ball person. We don't really predict the Hornets that much. You know, maybe that's my bad, but
I mean, it's gonna happen this time though.
you think
Oh yeah, yeah,
you think
definitely.
you think the Hornets are going to knock Atlanta out of the playoffs?
I definitely think that.
Okay, okay. Delusion is a mental illness, man. I think.
Listen, they're here. They're here for a reason,
Okay.
and you
Yeah,
know,
because New York just haven't been good this season. That's why they're here. Yes, that's correct.
no, I think they might, because you have to remember they will have MJ in the locker room speaking to them as their owner. That's got to do something to you. So maybe that might do the trick.
I mean, yeah, fair, maybe, but let's be honest. The Hornets were in this exact same position last season. They finished 10th last season and got knocked out by Indiana in the first playing game. So obviously, I'm not saying it's the same Hornets.
Mm,
They have gotten better this year,
yeah,
but Ice Trey is gonna. Trey versus Lamelo. That's a big game.
that is a
Um,
big game.
I think
I
Ice
mean, it's two
Trey.
guys that are probably gonna be up there in the future.
Yeah,
So this is like the game that people will turn to and say, "Well, this is where it all started."
fair. Well, I'm predicting Atlanta to win, and I'm predicting a train.
I'm actually, I think, um, to be honest, do I think Lamelo's gonna actually? I think Lamelo is gonna be the bet. Like he's gonna be the difference in terms of like he's gonna be the best player in the game. But I think Miles Bridges will actually get
Okay,
like the most points in terms of that player in the game respect that they do.
fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So that is who we think is going to win the East side. So obviously, this means that for you, the battle for eighth is between Cleveland
And
and
Atlanta.
no, because you predicted
Oh, sorry, Cleveland and Hornets. Yeah,
and
that's how
Charlotte
it
to win.
was.
I'm
Yeah,
Atlanta, Cleveland,
yeah.
and if I'm honest with you, I think Atlanta are going to get that eighth seed.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Cleveland are gonna get the eighth seed.
So you're right. So your Hornets backing ends. You
I
don't
mean,
think they're
I
gonna get
want to back them,
fair.
but
Fair. You
Cleveland
don't
are
think
just
they'll happen.
a great team.
Fair enough.
Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I would like for it to be the other way around, but
Fair.
whatever happens, happens in
Fair.
this respect.
Fair. Over on the other side, on the West, the Clippers faced the Timberwolves in the seventh versus eighth playing game. I personally think that this is a little bit harsh on Minnesota because Minnesota, throughout the regular season, shown by their record, have been a class above the teams below them
Mm,
that they share the playing with.
100%.
But because they finished seventh, they have to go through it. I think that's where the playing's kind of flawed. But it's a
Yeah,
conversation for a different day. And I
100%.
also I think this season might be the season where they actually have to look at that because I don't think that Minnesota are going to win this game. Throughout the whole season, they won what, like 46,
Mm,
47 games or something like that. That gets you pretty much in the top six in the East almost.
yeah,
Yeah, 46 wins. They finished on the exact same record as the Bulls did. That got them sixth in the East. That should get you in the playoffs, right? But I don't think. I think they're gonna have to be battling for the eighth seed, and as I'm gonna say later, I don't think they're gonna get it.
you don't think they're even gonna get
I
the eighth
actually don't.
seed?
I actually don't even think they're gonna get it.
Damn.
But I'm thinking it's gonna be a Clippers win. And I'm gonna put PG-13 over it.
I actually think they're gonna win that game.
Timberwolves.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I think their team overall will just do enough, or just enough, I think, to beat the Clippers. Because I
No,
think now the thing is what the Clippers do. Like when PG's not there, they're a great team. When he is there, they rely on him, and I think that is where they are flawed because they can actually do it, and they don't need to rely on him. He's a great player, and when he's there, use him and let him do his thing. But also, they don't need to rely on him and just like make everything go through PG. And I think if he does play, because who knows, like where is at with his health. Like sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't. And I don't know, they might think this is like an easy win, or they might try and go for the eighth seed. And I don't know why they would do that, but like I think Timberwolves are gonna win. I think Kat is just gonna be like the guy.
fair enough. And I can that I can see that happening. I feel like my take is a hot take that they won't get it,
Yeah,
but the fact is, I do think that they will have a tendency to choke it,
yeah,
and I personally think that this will be the season where the playing kind of gets like relooked by Adam Silver and the executives.
yeah. Okay.
To put teams that deserve to win in there rather than making them play against teams who they just haven't had, who have lost like
Yeah.
seven more games than them. So I obviously I can see a situation where the Timberwolves get through, but I just don't think it'll happen. Spurs at the
Mm.
Pelicans. Um, who do you think is going to win that one in your opinion?
I think San Antonio will. I think they might just edge it. I think they might edge the game slightly. I think they're gonna win. To be honest.
We're going to have completely different predictions for this for the Western side. I think the Pelicans are going to go through. Are going to go through this one. I
Yeah.
think at New Orleans. I think obviously the rest of their players. I think CJ McCollum is going to have that in him. He knows what it's like to play in that playoffs. Most
I
of the
think
Spurs
I.
team don't.
Mm, true, but
They do
they
have a
have
coach that knows
Popovich.
how to win. Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
exactly. That's the thing. I think Dejounte Murray is gonna
That's
turn
fair
up.
enough. That's fair enough.
I don't think they're gonna make the eighth seed,
Fair.
but I think they're gonna make it to the game there where they
Okay.
can try and make the eighth seed. I just don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna make that.
Fair.
But
So you're saying Clippers are going to get that eighth seed?
yeah,
Now this is what I think is going to happen, and call me crazy. This is in my world. This is in my world. What's going to happen is the Pels are going to do the business against the Spurs,
okay.
and then what's going to happen on that big game against the Timberwolves? What it's going to be? There's going to be a hooded man sat on the bench. There's going to be the regular four starters for the for the Pelicans, and there's going to be a hooded man sat on the bench, and he's going to be announced last, and it's going to be Zion Williamson. And I think that Zion is going to prove the difference. and I think that the Pelicans are gonna nick the 8th seed as a result.
As much as I would love for, like, believe me, if that happened, that would be crazy. The way Zion gets, like, introduced into the Marvel universe, the way you're describing it, like, that would be crazy. But like you said, call me crazy. That's a bit far fetched, but I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I
But
mean, if
yeah,
that happened, you would be the, like, surely that, if that happened,
induct me to
surely
the Hall of Fame.
surely that would put this podcast up there, because people, like, this clip would get out. Oh my god, this guy knew, and then, like, everyone would watch it and they'd put it on NBA, and Shaq would be like, yeah, well, this guy, he knew Sam, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my! No way! Oh, you're joking, man.
That was a perfect Shaq impression, by the way. Can I
I
just say that?
respect it. I respect it. I respect it.
So if that happens, which I would love for that to happen, bro, we'd become famous. Like,
Yeah, you never know. That Zion, if you're
make it
listening,
happen,
make it happen.
make it
But
happen.
I personally think this has potential to be one of the most interesting predictions. We've pretty much predicted the opposite team 5 out of the 6 times. So
Listen, if that happens, you can win the whole everything. Like, this whole predictions game we've been playing. If Zion comes with his hood and, like, his gangster grills, then you can win. I will say, Sam has won.
you know,
He
you said
takes the first.
you said
I'm
you said
saying it.
you said that about a Draymond Green tech. It never happened.
Yeah,
But
it never happened. But this will be me saying, yeah.
okay, fair enough,
So
fair enough,
you
fair
had
enough.
your first chance and you lost it, but I'm giving you another one because of how crazy that is.
Okay, so what? Let's get the logistics down. Is this just if Zion comes back, or is if he comes
No,
back
this is
like I said?
like he has to come back exactly what happened when you said it. It
Right.
has to
Okay.
come back the exact way you said it. Like, he gets announced last, his hood. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, who's that big guy?" And then he takes his hood off, and then everyone goes crazy, like, "Ah, oh my god!" Then
No, because the fact is he won't be a big guy because people have been saying that he's been overweight all season. He had been it where he's actually just been grinding. He's been
oh,
he's been
so
working
imagine he's
behind the
like,
scenes.
mm.
He's like 250 pounds. He's
But
he's
like, you
playing
just
he's
know
playing
what he
shooting
looks
guard.
like. Like, have you seen the size of him? Like, he's still a big guy.
Yeah, yeah. Like
But if that
muscle.
happens, I would wave the white flag on the
Fair enough. Fair
next
enough.
podcast episode. I'll be like, "Yep, it's done. We don't need
Well,
to predict anymore because
well.
Sam has won."
Let's just see what happens. Big thank you, Sully, for joining me once again for this predictions. I've enjoyed this, just reading out
Yeah,
what's happened.
definitely, man.
And I'm looking forward to doing next seasons. I just love predicting stuff.
It was fun, to be honest,
Yeah,
and I mean, like, it ended nicely as well. A nice crazy ending from Sam,
yeah.
and hopefully it's the episode that makes us, like, puts on them up. So,
But anyway, like I said at the start of the video, make sure you're liking and subscribing on the YouTube. Make sure that you're sharing it out. Comment, all that kind of good stuff. Tell your friends to watch the
please
podcast,
tell your
listen to it,
friends.
and share the love. Pretty much, we love doing this kind of stuff, and it'd be great if you
100%,
guys
man.
could build it up. So yeah, there's been a bit of a longer podcast than usual. We should be here again later this week discussing the actual playoffs after the whole playing situation. So don't miss us too much. We will see you guys later this week for some more Beyond the Arc. Peace.